Hi y'all, I'm Brenda with Blessings and Bread. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm baking cookies and I'm making a recipe that has been in our family for a long time. Now, I did not eat this cookie when I was a little girl, but my mother found this recipe sometime probably while I was in high school, and she began to bake it about the time she became a grandmother, I think, maybe a little after that. And every time grandkids came to their house, she would make these cookies. The original recipe, I think, was she found in the newspaper, but they were called Icebox cookies, and we'll talk about later why they're called Icebox cookies, but I like to think of them as just a basic sugar cookie. But we have a special name at our house we call them now, and we'll talk about that later. Right now, we're going to get started making this super easy cookie recipe that's super basic and one of the best sugar cookie recipes, I believe, that I've ever baked. So we're going to get started. It's so easy. So I'm going to readjust this camera and we'll get started baking. I do like to make this recipe in my stand mixer. I think you could probably make it also with a hand mixer, and you could stir it by hand if you wanted to. Again, just a little more muscle. I know that my grandmother would have had to stir this by hand, so it can be done. Let's start though, and it starts with 1 cup of shortening, or I use Crisco, and I always buy my Crisco in the pre-measured blocks, just because I hate measuring Crisco. Although in some of my videos I've showed an easy way to measure Crisco, but that's the easiest way, buy it already measured. So that was 1 cup, and now I'm going to cream this with the mixer. Just cream that just a little bit, because now basically the first step is to cream the shortening and the sugars together. This recipe uses 2 different types of sugar. It uses just regular granulated sugar, and I have a cup of white granulated sugar, and then I have a cup of brown sugar. My brown is it's mostly light brown, but I have a little dark brown mixed in there. I just ended up throwing both of my bags of brown sugar into the same container. Either dark brown or light brown sugar will do, but you do need brown sugar. So now we're going to mix cream the shortenings and the sugars together, and this will take several minutes to make this really combined well. Next, we're going to add the eggs, and it calls for 2 large eggs. I'm just going to crack them into this bowl first and then mix them in. And I can mix them in both at the same time. All right, those are mixed really well. And next I'm going to add the vanilla. And this is part of what I think makes this such a good cookie, is it calls for 5 teaspoons of vanilla. So that's about a tablespoon. That would be a tablespoon and a little more than a tablespoon and a half. The next thing I'm going to do is to combine the dry ingredients, and as you know, I like to combine mine using my sifter. You do not have to do it in a sifter. You can just mix them using a wire whisk, which I'm probably going to do a little of both. But I'm going to begin with my flour. It calls for 3 cups of flour. So I'm going to put 3 cups of flour into my sifter. And this is why I love my sifter. It's nice and big. It can hold 3 cups easily. Then it calls for a teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of salt. And that's all of the dry ingredients. And I'm going to combine those well by sifting. And I'm also going to stir them a little bit with a wire whisk, even though I sifted. Sometimes you just get that baking soda where it's not mixed well, and then you'll end up with a little whangy bite of cookie after they're baked. So make sure you mix your dry ingredients really well, whether it's by sifting or by stirring with a wire whisk. All right, the next step is going to be to combine the dry ingredients with our sugar and a Crisco mixture or our wet mixture. So that'll be our next step. I'm just going to gradually add this flour to our sugar mixture. All right, I'm scraping the sides, and then I am going to just mix them one more time to make sure all the flour is incorporated. All right, I think that is good. I'm going to take this off and give you a look, because we already have cookie dough, and this is all there is to making the cookie dough. Now, I will say this recipe does call for a cup of finely chopped pecans as an optional ingredient, but my family prefers them without the pecans. So I am leaving the pecans out. And I pretty much always have. I think even when my mother would make them for the grandbabies, she didn't put pecans in them either. So that's kind of how our family has eaten them most of the time. And so now we just have a good solid cookie dough. The recipe for this cookie dough, actually they're called Icebox cookies because the instructions tell you to chill it for several hours, and then you take it out, divide it into thirds, and you make 3 rolls, like cookie dough rolls, that then you wrap in wax paper and you store in the refrigerator. Then you can take that dough out and slice it and bake it as you want to bake cookies. Or you could even freeze the cookie rolls. I've done that before. But the usual way we make these cookies is we just dip them and roll them into 1-inch balls, and that's how I'm going to be doing it today. So I'm not going to chill it for for several hours. Usually I find if I just chill it about 30 minutes, it'll be where I can handle it enough to roll it into balls. So I'll be back once this cookie dough is chilled and ready to be rolled into balls. All right, the cookie dough was chilled. I only chilled it about 30 minutes. I didn't really time it. I just kind of cleaned up and then got the cookie dough back out, but it's definitely firm enough to do. I have already got several on this cookie sheet. I thought I had the recorder going and something happened. It shut off or shut down. So I have only one more to fill this cookie sheet up with. Now I've scooped them out with this, but then I'm going to go back and roll each ball actually into a ball. Now, if you're not, I guess, too picky about your shape of your cookies, you maybe don't have to do this part, but I like mine rolled into a ball. It'll make a nice round cookie. And it's, again, when you're baking cookies, it's best if you can get them about all the same size. I can tell by rolling these that some of them might be a little smaller than others, but close enough. The cookies bake for 10 to 12 minutes. I usually bake for 10 because I like a soft cookie. If you like a crunchier cookie, you could bake them for 12, and it'll also depend on your oven. All right, so now that these are all rolled into balls, there's one more step before we put them in the oven. Again, I'm just gonna roll the ball in sugar. I'm just gonna roll several balls here in sugar or the cinnamon sugar. And then I'm gonna press them down with the fork. Or I can press them down with the glass. I'll do these in cinnamon sugar. And then I'm going to use my glass on this one. The little star design, it kind of goes away, but you will see a little bit of design on top. All right, these are going to go in the oven, and they are going to bake at 350 degrees. And like I said, I'm going to bake mine for 10 minutes. So we'll be back when these are baked, and give them a good try. They are delicious. While my other cookies are baking, they have about 4 minutes to go, but while they're baking, I'm gonna go ahead and dip and be rolling more cookies, and I just kind of leave them in the bowl here. And this will save time, so I can keep moving on. I don't know, I've had a little bit of difficulty with my camera today. It cut off on me, so I'm not sure I caught my explanation about what we call our cookies now. So I hope I'm not repeating myself. If I am, just bear with me. Maybe I can cut it out and so I don't say it twice. But after my mom died, these cookies, when I would make them, reminded my children so much of their grandmother that they called Mema, that instead of calling these sugar cookies or icebox cookies, we began to call them Mema Cookies. So that's what these are for us now, is we call them Mema Cookies. And I think one of my sister or one of my sisters may have said that her children called them the same thing, because she always made these for the grandbabies when the grandbabies came. And I'm hoping that maybe someday my grandchildren will learn to love these cookies as well. Their mom's a dietitian, though, and she's kind of picky about how much sugar they get. But then when they come to Grandma's house, all's fair at Grandma's house, right? Right now, they are such babies that when they come, I can't handle making cookies. I'm going to have to make them before they get here, because they are still full of energy and take lots of energy just to maintain them at this age. They're 3, one's almost 4, be 4 at the end of March, and the other one's about 2.5. So they're both busy little boys. So anytime I have them or I'm at her house, it just takes all my energy just to help take care of them. Make sure they have 3 meals a day and get their diapers changed. The cookies are out of the oven, and I'm going to let them cool on this cookie sheet for a couple of minutes before I take them off of the cookie sheet. Then I will be cooling them on a wire rack till they're completely cooled. I can see that a couple of the cookies were a little close together, so my next batch I may need to put them a little bit further apart, but they're still will be fine. These cookies are just for us to eat here at the house, which is rare. for me to ever make something that's just for home. And it's just me and Rod here. Travis is out of town, so we'll have a lot of cookies to eat. But maybe I'll share some with a neighbor. I have all of my cookies baked, and I haven't made these in a long time, and I had forgotten how good they were. They are amazing. As you can tell, I've already had a cookie when it was fresh, warm out of the oven, but you can just see it made plenty of cookies, and they are so good, and they're still soft and chewy, but they're firm enough that they hold up. The outside is a little crunchy, but the inside is soft and chewy. It's just the perfect cookie. I got one with the cinnamon sugar. We did not do that for a long time, but I have started doing the cinnamon sugar, and I think I like the cinnamon sugar best. Something I think I forgot to say is that you do need to grease your cookie sheet. Or if you saw what I did, I always bake cookies now on parchment paper. So either line your cookie sheet with parchment paper, or you should lightly grease your baking sheet before you bake your cookies. These are amazing. It was a huge recipe. It made 5 dozen cookies. So you could easily half this recipe if you didn't need this many cookies. Definitely, I have enough cookies to share, and I'll be sharing with some friends. I hope you've enjoyed watching me make Mema cookies, and I will look forward to seeing you the next time I'm in my kitchen, on my porch, or in my garden.